Okay, so we're going to take a peek at Assignment 6C. This is our third assignment in Module 6, and it actually is going to be our, if you would, AutoCAD portion. Now, there is no new information in AutoCAD to create the drawings that I have assigned here in Assignment 6C. But what they are referencing are drawings from the Tech Drafting book. This is not the AutoCAD book. This is the Tech Drafting book. And you're going to find them in, the following places. So we've got exercise 8.7, which is on page 330 or 353, 821, 356. And this is in regard to the 16th edition. If you have an older version, you have to make sure that you find the place where it's going to be found. It should be in like the 15th version. I know some people have that. And for each one of these, I do have a drawing guide down here. So just like on the previous assignments, if we click on the drawing guide, you need to duplicate what you see here. Okay, duplicate what you see here. This is not going off on your own yet, right? You still have to use the AutoCAD tool. There's a lot going on here that you need to exercise. So please do not try to put it on a different drawing board or to a different scale or go rogue on me, okay? So make it just like this. There's plenty here. And I'm just kind of glancing at this drawing guide. I think everything here you've done, okay, as far as dimensioning. This is a section view going through a rib. So if you recall, we do not section ribs, okay? Because otherwise they look it does actually look weird, if you get used to this. So even though, yes, we're going through the rib, we never section ribs, okay? Because it just doesn't represent the way it's supposed to. So you want to create this drawing here. So again, this is on page 353. It's exercise 8.7. And underneath my camera, this is going to be the part that you see in our textbook, okay? But you're going to be creating the drawing, as I saw per the drawing guide, okay? Make sure you're checking your drawings to the drawing guide before you hand in, okay? They're out there for you to duplicate. They are not just out there, for me to just have there, okay? If I notice there's a lot missing or things aren't looking like you looked at the drawing guide, I'm just going to tell you, look at the drawing guide. I'm not going to mark everything up. Okay. So take the time to look there. The next one that you have here is going to be on page 356. And this is the adjuster base that we see up here. Now for this adjuster base, you are going to be doing 1, 2, 3 section views going through that part. Okay. And you're going to notice that there are going to be offset sections going through. So you've got to follow the cutting plane lines, just as you see here, okay? If we look at the drawing guide for this one, go back, and this is going to be for 6C, the adjuster base. This is what you're going to be drawing for this one. So you've got 3 section views, A, B, and C. And then you've got a top view and a front view, okay? And then the dimensions that you see here. Earlier, the question was asked, is a reference dimension like a driven dimension? A reference dimension, we put the parentheses around. We put it there for clarity. The rule is you only put a dimension on in one place, okay? You can't double dimension, as we would call it. So for instance, 37 is already in the front view here. We cannot show 37 without a parentheses here. But by putting the 37 there with the parentheses around, it gives you context or clarity for that view. Does that make sense? Okay. So if you show a dimension in more than one view, in those successive views, you have to show it as a reference dimension. Now, 2 ways you can show a reference dimension. The standard way is putting parentheses around it, or you can put in back of it REF. Okay, that would be reference. That was kind of the old way of doing it. Okay, so make sure you do that. There's also a note on this one for the fillets. And then if I go back, the next ones we have here is going to be further down the road. They're both on page 402. We have the angle guide and the adjuster block. So if I go to page 402, The angle guide is right here, okay? And this one, believe that there is the angle guide. We have a guide for this one. So you'll notice this is going to be, we're going to add a section view to this, but there's also an auxiliary view. Okay, looking up that side so we can see what the radius is. So here is the the drawing guide for this one. And then you're going to notice that you have the adjuster block to do. Okay, the adjuster block is directly down below it. It's exercise 919. There is not a drawing guide for that one. So you get to fly solo on that, and you're going to use what you've learned in dimensioning, and you're going to apply it here. Okay, and now you get to make sure that you're abiding by the standards. Make sure that you use the dimensions that are here, okay, and off of the locations or the datums that they're showing, okay? So for instance, if you're gonna dimension where this hole is, don't go directly from the right side here. You wanna go from one hole to the next, okay? So make sure you show those dimensions, but obviously don't dimension on the part. Make sure you lay it out nice. Something that I've been seeing as I've been getting things in, make sure that when you are laying out your part, for instance, and I'm just going to put this one underneath just because it's handy. I don't know why that's not, my Zoom isn't working. Try again. It's really weird. Well, it's not. Let me do this for a second. Let me go out. No. Let me go back in. Well, it's not wanting to work right now. I'm not sure exactly why, but when you lay out your part, now this one, you're going to notice that this is on a B-size border. You want to spread your views apart, not only for dimensions, but you want to make it look good on the drawing, okay? I'm seeing a lot, like for this part, for instance, if you drew and you all did, you drew the three views first, okay? So they might be a little close together because you might have used, like, for instance, a miter line to create that third view, which is totally fine. But when you're on the drawing, I don't want to see in the middle of the drawing just this much of the drawing area used up. Spread these out so that there's room to put dimensions, and also so that you just utilize that border a little bit better, okay? So if you do have questions about that, let me know. But spread your views out. Make sure that that you're utilizing the space that you have. Okay. So that's all that I have for today. So I just wanted to kind of explain this assignment to you so that you can start working on this when you're ready, because the 6B is kind of a small little assignment. And I'm sure you're like, gosh, what am I going to do with myself if I don't have anything in tech drafting to do? So I wanted to be sure you had something to work on in the meantime. Okay. All right. So are there any questions at the moment on these 4 drawings? All right. So you are ready to then work the rest of the evening independently, and let me know if you have any questions. Okay.